Alright, I'm going to try to use my new webcam. And this is just this little sample video. My microphone is really messing with my head, so I'm going to take the earpiece out. I'm working on the seagrass socks from Melissa Morgan Oak's Toe Up 2 at a Time socks. Like I said, this is a new webcam, so I'm getting used to whatever it is, how I can do this. I'm also getting used to knitting Continental rather than English. I wasn't feeling very well yesterday. I was going to do some videos yesterday. It was really, really sunny in my room. It was great. And I said, it's supposed to be sunny tomorrow too, so I'll just do the videos tomorrow. But yesterday was a Saturday, today's a Sunday. And today is very sunny, but not nearly as sunny, and it's a little bit later in the afternoon than when I had hoped to get the videos done yesterday, so the sun's in a different place in the sky, and I don't like to use the overhead light in my room because they're compact fluorescents and everything looks pretty strange. So if it looks pretty strange, I may do a second video today with the fluorescents on and just see. But I'm knitting the sock. I want to say this is like Stroll Tonal or Gloss Tonal from Knittix. My little front marker, which I don't need anymore because these are patterned on the instep and plain on the sole. And a magic looping. Yay, magic loop. But I'm going to wrap, and this is the hardest thing for me to get used to with Continental, especially when you're knitting and purling, is that you have to wrap the thread around the back of your hand so you don't lose it when you try to purl. So let's see, I'm on the seagrass pattern, and I've got to knit 2, purl 4, and then just keep repeating it across the row. Can you see? My thumb's in the way. Can't help that, sorry. And I'm going to, oh, it's too dark. It's way too dark. Alright, well, I'm going to knit a row. I'm going to stop this video. I might do a second one, but I'm picking it through, pulling it tight with my finger. Knit 2. And purl, I'm bringing the yarn in front of my needle and around. I've got to get the light up in here because I would really like to do a demonstration of Jenny's super stretchy bind off. I've watched Cat Board Eye's YouTube video about it, and it's very good. But the clicking of her, I guess, Addy Turbos. Knit 2, purl 4, purl 4. Gotta get used to where to hold my hands with this new cam. Yeah, see, the sun's going behind a cloud or doing something right now. It was really sunny a moment ago. And yesterday was like the perfect day, but I slept till like 11 o'clock. And then putted around and then went to church at 4. And I got up today, and I could have done videos earlier today, except for the fact that I wanted to go to church again and watch this special program they had. So I did. I had breakfast there, and I went to the thing. But I had a video before that I did of just me knitting, just because people say I knit weird. So you see how I just did that row pretty simply and pretty quickly, and pretty easily with very little hand movement. I'll knit this side English the way I usually knit, and you'll see the difference in hand movement. Like at this, I used to say I'd throw like a quarterback. I mean, the yarn's thrown everywhere, and there's a lot of movement. And when I start a stock, because of the difficulty of picking out those little yarn increases for the toe. So when I knit a sock toe up, I knit it English until I can get it to a point where there's enough stitches that knitting Continental is comfortable. But knitting Continental was never comfortable for me for purling until I really learned that trick about keeping the yarn across the back of your hand. And then when I learned that and saw it, because I was trying to pick the yarn through, and I could purl, but the stitches all came out crooked. I'm like, well, I'm doing something wrong. And I was. And when I corrected myself, the stitches weren't crooked, weren't twisted anymore. But, I mean, I still knit quickly doing it that way, but there's a lot more hand movement. This is a lot less effort. Although this hand does get, holding the yarn out, this finger gets tired. But we'll repeat, you have to repeat each row twice in the seagrass. So knit 2, purl 4. What's really important on this first stitch of the instep, you're going to take this yarn here that's on your finger and pull it nice and tight so you don't get a ladder right there. That's the bane of every, I was going to say the bane of every sock knitter's existence, but anybody who knits circular, whether it's on circulars just around and around, like for a skirt or sweater or something, or if you're magic looping, more if you're magic looping because of the strain placed on these areas, and if you're knitting with double pointed needles, wherever those sets of needles are, you know, you're switching from one needle to the next needle, you're apt to get a little ladder looking thing if you don't pull it tight enough. And it's horrible, I gotta keep my hands down, but you know, you get that ladder if you don't pull it tight enough. So you want to avoid that. And even, keep your hands down, even purling, and I'm still getting used to this, even purling is much easier, but we're about to switch to the sole, which is plain stockinette, so you'll see how quickly that goes. And with the Continental and with magic looping, trying to avoid those ladders is hard for me, because generally speaking, people knit more loosely with Continental than they do with English. But we're going to just plain stockinette stitch Continental. I know it's hard to see, you don't have enough light, but sorry, I had to pull the yarn up. That's the way I pull my yarn. I pull my hands all over the place when I need a bunch of yarn. Oops, got my yarn in the wrong place. I had my yarn over my needle for knitting, and I have to have it behind the needle. I'm thinking of buying the Sunstruck needles from Knit Picks. These are the Harmony wood, and it's nice with this yellow yarn, but I had some dark yarn, and I had to use these bamboo needles that I do not like. I'm not a fan of bamboo anymore. Sorry, guys. Oh, bamboo. Wow, yeah. Bamboo's nice, and I guess it's a renewable resource, I guess, because it grows really fast. But the tips wear down, and bits of it flake off. And I guess not as much if you have really, really good bamboo needles, but the Harmony wood are so good for lace knitting, and I like them for the sock knitting too because they have some grab to them. And I've had wood needles before. I got the Brittany wood needles, which are, I don't know what kind of wood those are, but those are some kind of soft wood, and the points really wear down. And I've had them for quite a number of years. I don't even knit on them very often, and I dislike using them greatly. Well, that's it for this, unless maybe I can move to a sunnier spot, which it doesn't look like that's going to happen, or turn on the fluorescent and see. I will go ahead and post this video, though, just because I might as well. Alrighty. Thanks a bunch.